Hello and welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. This is another installment in my series on same caliber firearms and why it's a good idea to have them. When the last installment of this video, I was out at the range shooting, and what I have here is a Kel Tec Sub 2000 in 9mm. This is the Glock version, so it uses a Glock 17 9mm mag, and I also have the Smith and Wesson SD9VE. So the SD9VE is a pretty budget firearm. Again, I've had people make fun of me for owning this firearm just because it's a relatively inexpensive firearm. It's a copy of a Glock, but it's not exactly a Glock, and they say it's just a piece of garbage. Well, for the price point that I paid for this, and again, when I bought this, I either paid, I think it was either $200 or $215 or $220 for this pistol, and it has a $20 Apex trigger kit in it. It is clear. After putting the Apex trigger kit in it, I mean, it's still kind of a mushy Smith and Wesson pivot trigger, but it's a self-defense trigger, so it has a really long take-up before it actually breaks. So, I mean, it breaks almost all the way back at the end of the frame, and then when you release it, reset is pretty far as well. So it's not the best trigger in the world. Again, it's not the best firearm in the world, but for the price, it's been almost 100% reliable. The only issue I ever had with this gun was the extractor wasn't pulling out aluminum cased ammo out of the chamber. Not exactly sure why. I think it's because aluminum cased ammo expands at a different rate than brass or steel. This thing will run steel ammo. The most cheapest garbage steel ammo, it'll run 100%. It'll run anything, hollow points, anything else that comes in a brass case. So it's a reliable gun. I just don't buy aluminum 9mm anymore, which if you could find it, wouldn't be a bad thing to buy because it was always a little bit cheaper, but you can't find it anyway, so not worried about that. Now I also have a Shield 9mm, which could have been basically the same talking point for this video. It doesn't really matter what the 9mm is necessarily, but again, the discussion is more around having firearms that use the same caliber ammunition. And this is in a case where you either had to bug out and leave your home and you needed to take something that had a longer length barrel for better accuracy, better range, and a pistol to keep on yourself, and you only needed to carry one type of ammo. So that's really the benefit to having two firearms, a rifle and a pistol in the same caliber. I just happen to choose these. Now, again, if I had a Glock 17, which I don't particularly like Glocks. That's why I like the Smith and Wesson. It has a similar function, but it doesn't have that weird blocky frame that I hate about Glocks. If I had a Glock 17, this would be even better because the pistol and the carbine would have exactly the same magazine. In this particular case, the magazines are not interchangeable between the SD9VE and my Kel Tec Sub 2000, which is why when I started this series, I said it's not necessarily a pistol caliber carbine series. It's more talking just about a rifle and a pistol in the same caliber. So if you do have to carry them, you have fewer choices in ammunition that you need to make in order to get out of the house. Now again, in this particular situation, would these two be my first choices if I had to leave my house? Probably not. They are a good choice though in the aspect of portability because, and again, for posterity's sake, empty chamber, nothing in the chamber, no magazine, clear gun. The Kel Tec Sub 2000, as many of you know, does fold up into this nice convenient package. So if I had to carry two guns when I leave my house, I could very easily throw both of these into a backpack or into a briefcase or a computer bag or anything else, and I would have a nice compact system to be able to take with me for short distance shooting and for longer range shooting. So I need to deploy my carbine for long distance shooting. There it is. I want to fold it up and put away. There it is. And I probably will do another series just on the Kel Tec because I've done some upgrades to this, but for now, this is just a discussion on, again, it's a good idea to have a pistol and a carbine in the same caliber so that it reduces the ammunition that you need to store for these items if you ever had to get out of your house and get away in a shit hits the fan situation, or just for when you go to the range. I mean, sometimes I go to the range and it's like, well, if I want to shoot different firearms, I have to bring 5 different calibers of ammo when I go to the range. So makes it a little bit more fun when you go to the range. Now, 9mm in and of itself, I don't think is actually that great beyond about 70 yards. When you get out to 100 yards, it's something like 12 or 14 inch drop at 100 yards, and I'm probably wrong. I'm sure people in the comments will correct me, but there's a huge drop on standard 9mm ammo, even coming out of a 16.5 inch barrel carbine, to warrant to the point that realistically, you're not going to go out and do long range target shooting or long range hunting with this. But if you needed it between, 50, 70 yards, something like that, if you needed to protect yourself, it would be enough to at least hurt somebody enough for them to not want to come any closer. Because obviously the more close you get to somebody shooting 9mm, the more deadly it is. But again, the discussion is more around pistol and rifle that use the same caliber cartridge or the same caliber bullet. Not necessarily pistol caliber carbine in the same exchangeable mags between the two of them, but just the fact that you only have to carry one type of ammo, and these will reliably feed the same ammo. And again, it gets you close range protection and it gets you mid-range protection out of them, and it gets you a little bit more fun out at the range too when you go shooting, rather than just shooting one or the other. So that's kind of the benchtop review of the Kel Tec Sub 2000 and the Smith and Wesson SD9VE as same caliber pistol and carbine. I will probably continue this series until I exhaust the firearms that I have, because I'm not going to go out and buy more for this specific thing right now. Again, having the funds to be able to do this kind of stuff as far as ammo goes is not great, because there is not much ammo out there. So if you can find it, it usually ends up costing a lot more money. However, I do have various different calibers that I have the same handgun and a rifle in, and that's why I wanted to do this series, just to give you guys kind of an understanding. Well, if you want to go out and buy a rifle and you want to have some type of firearm that's a pistol or a revolver that uses the same caliber, here's some suggestions. So again, this is the Kel Tec Sub 2000 and the Smith and Wesson SD9VE. Again, you could also do this with a Shield 9mm, you could do it with a Beretta 92FS. Kel Tec even has 9mm handguns. I mean, High Point, if you wanted to go there. I mean, Glocks. There's tons and tons and tons of 9mm pistols that are better than my choice. This just happens to be what I have for this example. So thank you all for watching Cranky Gun Reviews. This is another installation, again, of the same caliber rifle and pistols. This is the kind of benchtop review, just looking at the two guns that I have. And I hope that you continue to watch my videos. I appreciate you taking the time. Again, I do this all in my own time, all with my own money, and it just baffles me that people want to come out and see the different things that I do. I appreciate watching other people's channels. This is how I learned, and I don't mind giving the information away to you guys so that you can make some informed decisions. Again, thanks for watching. Remember to support your two-way rights. God bless America, and just have a great day.